Howdy. How's everyone doing? Let's see who we got. Papa, Bruce, uh, Rob. How's everyone doing? Make sure it's on the live chat so I get everybody in here. Uh, is it chilly where everyone else is out? Because I woke up this morning and it was a little chilly. Can y'all hear me? I hope so. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good, Bruce. I wasn't sure. I messed around and I forgot I'd hooked up this. I can't. Yeah, this microphone instead of the one built in the camera. And I thought, man, I messed up. I didn't make sure it was set up. Ray, good to see you in here again. Let's see. Ron, good to see you. Man, we got a good crowd so far. That's good. Uh I come in just, barely in time. Maybe I was even a little late. I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking for something here. Wish list. No. Yeah. Uh, Howdy, Papa. Uh, so, tonight's topic. Does everyone kind of get the drift of it if you've ever experienced it? I'll give you two examples. So, my very first example of, project creep was let me take these glasses off. Very first example was a project creep was my station wagon. So in 2018 or 19, I went out to crank it and I had left water in it. Well, I say left water in it. I never checked it. And it had froze and busted the block. Well, I wasn't sure whether it was busted. So I took it apart, was just going to throw some freeze plugs in it. And one thing led to another, and I tore the whole thing apart. Popped the valve covers off. It was a little dirty there. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check the bottom end. And I pulled that apart, and I'm like, I don't know. Pulled off a rod cap. Rod bearings didn't look great. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can't. It's a good thing I did. I sent the block in, got it tested. Of course, it was bad. It had busted between the rod bolt, no, the water jacket, and like the center cylinders. So 1, 2, 3, and 6, 7. 2, 3, and 6, 7 on both sides. It had busted into the water jacket from the cylinders. So I'm like, okay, I just want to get a simple 302. And no, you know what? I did kind of go overboard from there. And I got me a block, and the rest is history. I built a 332 and all that good stuff out of a 302. Sort of similar thing happened with this one. The 302 I'm building right now, which I got back on a little bit last night and realized I was missing some parts. So hopefully by next Sunday, I'll have a video on that. How you doing, Leeser, Sizzleneck, Warren? I think I've said hey to everybody else. But yeah, this Mustang that I got, and I got it. I pulled it out. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get a block, bore it, put my old rotating assembly out of it, and instead of that, now I've got another $900 crank, and it cost me way more than I was expecting, and it's still in there, not going. And other things have done it. So, um, what kind of project creep have y'all experienced where you expected and planned and could afford this much, but you end up spending this much because it's like, you know what? This ain't all that great, and I've already spent this much money. I'm gonna spend just a little more and have a little better feeling about it. And then, it just keeps going like that. Now, let me read some comments. Let's see. Frost here for the third time. I know we've had frost at least once. Maybe, I don't know how many other times. I haven't. Once it frosted, and I think someone on the weather said no need for any more frost alerts because growing is done for the year. So, yeah, we came home early. Long story short, we couldn't do another night at the Roach Coach Motel. Dang. So what was up with coming home early? Where'd y'all go? Let's see, how did Jethro? Hey guys, hey, how you fellas? uh, Rivera, I'm just talking about project creep. How a simple project turns out to be a whole lot bigger than what you wanted it to be. I think my little brother one time tore down his porch was rotting, and it was just rough, and it was like they sold him treated lumber but gave him untreated lumber. I mean, it went just like that, and it was supposed to be treated, and he got it tore out and was just going to put a pad in, but he ended up having to rebuild the seal on his house because he didn't do proper stuff, and it had started rotting as well. Uh, Old Harley Davidsons every time. Why are Harley Davidson engine parts so expensive? Even from not Harley Davidson, the things are just ridiculous. I mean, it's more to rebuild a Harley engine than it is to rebuild a V8. It's ridiculous. But that might be another topic for some other time. NC for a wedding. Okay. Let's see. Hate to say that you come home early. I cannot stand to stay in a motel that is not clean. Excuse me. I've stayed in some cheap motels where I was comfortable, but I'm telling you, if I go in there and it even looks like it's dirty, I'm going to itch all night. It's just my skin crawls all night, and it's probably mostly mental. I mean, I would rather sleep on the stinking ground before I sleep in a nasty hotel, and I've done it. 2010, I rode down to um, Daytona for Oktoberfest, and got down into Florida somewhere, and I was just wore out. It was like 3 a.m. I decided I'm gonna take me a few hour nap, and I pulled into a truck stop, unrolled my bedroll, and laid down beside my bike. Um, Woke up about 4 hours later and went on down to Daytona. But yeah, I hate staying in a bad motel. Um, yeah. Uh, I'm gonna tell you my best luck. It's expensive. Well, it's usually twice the price of the cheap motels, but I tend to stay in a Holiday Inn Express. I've I think one time out of about 50, I had a bit of a rough time. Yeah. Let's see. Current stuff is getting costly. Stuff is breaking. Yeah, that's so aggravating. Um, it's the name and people want them. Yeah, it was with an oil pump drive, and and did finally found it. Dad misplaced it. Okay, good to see you, Walter. We got to the room, 88% humidity, not clean, you name it. Been to some tough ones. This was gross. Man, that's just. Oh, the second thing, my air conditioner's got to work right. It's got to work right. If it doesn't, I mean, and I want to hang ice. I want to hang meat like it's a freezer in a hotel, room. So, um, I hate that you had a unclean room. That's just it's uncalled for. And I would like to make some stereotypes, but I'm not going to right now. But it seems to be the same thing in every bad hotel I stay in. Uh, I'm in a room 7 nights a week. I normally choose a Quality Inn. Quality Inn seems decent. I stayed in I want to say Super 8, and they provided me with a bed covering, which was a real thin decorative cover, and a sheet. Um, the air conditioner didn't work right, and it was just I was so frustrated, but I was so tired that I didn't have no choice. I was coming home from a motorcycle trip, and I had took a long way around, and I'd been doing twisties all day long, like all day long, and it was just I was wore out, so I stayed. Uh, Paid for 3 nights, used one. That's not good. Stayed at a bad one in Syracuse, New York. Called it Hotel Hell. The mattress had a duct tape patch. The shower had mildew. Wow. Uh, New shingles on the roof turned into new plywood. Original didn't even have H clips. While the plywood was off, removed all the loose attic insulation, dropped in new rolls. Yeah, with construction, it's like normal. Anytime you take something apart, it's a wonder when they pulled my roof apart to put the tin up, they didn't have to because I knew I had a leak in the back here around my ain't the hair pretty around my event my what is it um sewage vent, whatever it's called. See, Super 8 and Motel 6. I will sleep in the car. I've slept. I know I've stayed in 2 Motel 6s, and while they one of them wasn't in a very good area, it was still okay experience. My biggest concern when I stayed there was, and it was uh, Nebraska, Iowa, Council Bluffs, Iowa, and it was just a rough part of town. And that was my only concern because my motorcycle was out there, and it sucked to wake up one morning and go out and your motorcycle's gone. Went from R12 of the 3.5-inch loose insulation to the code required R49. Wow. R12. That was a big difference. Yeah. That's pretty rough. I know I want to take and add insulation to my attached garage so we can heat it and cool it when we want to, but yeah, and it ain't got anything in there right now. I don't know what's in the ceiling now. I just know it's like whatever the joists are or the ceiling joists are, it's almost even with them. Went from, let's see, some of the family owned ones are good if they keep the rooms clean. Yeah, I found the Kichi ones, as long as it's someone in there, uh, like you said, a family owned. They want to keep business. But they're usually not in a high traffic area either. Those usually sell to, once someone wants to get out of them, they usually sell and they just go downhill from there. Not sure about that hair. That's a good looking hat. I appreciate it, Warren. Hey, sorry it took so long to get that to you, but man, if I had a picture, I'd show everybody your new hat. Oh, I do have a picture, but it's on my phone. uh, and the phone's here. Let's see. See, you mind me showing everybody your picture? You probably won't be able to see it. Let's see. I haven't saw you say no, that you don't want me to show them yet. There you go. Uh, but anyway, back to Project Creep. Um, it happens with me a lot on motors. I have engines. Motors are um, electrical, and engines are internal combustion. I did that right, Warren. You're in that field where you would, you know, doing that factory stuff. Garage is detached. I just put all R11 all around. That's pretty cool. It always happens to me with engines though. The I have a 351 block. I wanted it to be bored and honed, and the crank needed to be polished, and I ended up like at $700 or something like that, and it was just crazy, and that wasn't really what my intent was. In all reality, that specific block, the goal was find one running out of a truck, pull it out, um, put rings in it, rod bearings, main bearings, and run it. But for some reason, I decided to do all that other stuff with it. It was just ridiculous. Let's see. R11 all around. I'm lucky. Previous owner insulated my garage very well, and carpet. It's great year round. That's awesome. So I've still got to get into my garage and put the flue straight up through the ceiling instead of out the side, so I can get a good draft. If I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to use my heater this year. So you're a little late, Warren. I've already showed everybody. So, Ron, that sounds like a nice garage. Yeah. It's nice. I need to hurry up and get mine done. I should have already had at least the ceiling up in there and the insulation blown in by now. I've got everything I need except for a lift and someone to help me. So, but so going to take a little break here and I'm going to show everybody what tonight's is. Tonight's little prize. Let's see where we at. So it's a little more expensive than the normal $20 limit on what I've been giving away, but it's getting winter, and you know it's a struggle to keep your batteries of your junk charged. In my garage, I've got, let's see, my little forklift battery, my Fairlane battery, my Mustang battery, um, a small 12 volt, a small motorcycle battery I like to um, use for just, whatever needs it. I've got my motorhome battery, not motorhome, my travel trailer battery, which is probably dead. I doubt it's any good anymore because I neglected it last year. And 3 motorcycles. And I say that to say all this. I've got 2 battery tenders. One stays with my regular motorcycle, and the other one, I move it around to all those pieces, even during the summer. And yeah, it's I need at least like a 4, one that does 4 at a time, or to get me multiple of these. So that's what I'm giving away tonight. It'll be a little later, so y'all hang in there. Let me end that. Stop sharing that. See what we got here. Howdy, Frank. Howdy, Baldy. Uh, yeah, I understand it being insulated but still cold. It's hard to heat a garage. It just is. And it's just so expensive to insulate. I want to just I wish I could have afforded the 5 or 6 grand to have it spray foamed. Well, it probably would have been 10 grand for me, but I, if I could have afforded it, it would have been worth it, but I just couldn't afford it. It was something I was going to have to do a piece at a time. Right now, half of it or a third of it is insulated on the sides, and everything else has a little bubble wrap. See. Struggle keeping our garage cool in the summer. AC wouldn't help as the door stays open. Any ideas for staying cool? Yes. If it's a big enough garage, and even you can get a smaller one, but they're the evaporative coolers. It's the big, let me find one. Tab, evaporative cooler. Let's see. Now let's see. They make them cheaper than this right here. But this is the type that I always see. And you know, I wouldn't buy that one. If I bought one, it would be a lot smaller, and I'd try to find one used. And you can find them used sometimes. Let me. Can you see this one? This one's for 950 square foot, for $600. But in that, see, tried to do a giveaway, only got 3 comments. I must have missed that one, Papa. But then again, I've been super busy and struggling. So, yeah, I haven't been, watching as much YouTube and just barely getting stuff done. So, let's see, you can never have enough battery tenders. Yes. Yeah, it's if you have to jump a battery, yeah, it sucks, especially in the winter. I don't know if I've told y'all this story. There was winter when I had to ride my motorcycle to work every day. And I'd been riding it, and when I would get to work, I would pull the battery off because the battery had went bad on me. I'd pull the battery off, I'd take it up to my office, and I'd put it on charge. Or I would put it on charge like hour before I left because it was hanging at around 11 something volts. I was good just as long as I had, enough volts to get it cranked. But I'll never forget, it was February 14th. It was 2011, 2011, February 14th. I threw that daggone battery on the charger and warmed it up. I had spent all night on duty. It was called staff duty. And when I went out to my bike, it was like 14 degrees. And I had to ride it home like that, 14 degrees. I lived 10 miles from work. I got home and my poor feet were frozen. And I figured out a different way to get me back and forth to work from there. it was ridiculous. My dad was just talking about getting a trickle charger for his car. Yeah. I use them. I've got one. The one of them's cheaper than the other, and it's just they're great to have around. Sumo Bruce. It's nice to have one get on a vehicle. Just put some Sumo springs on my truck. A few nights ago was so nice laying on the carpet working on it. Yeah, carpet can be nice. Gets dirty. I guess you had to have a good vacuum for your garage. My battery tenders are great. Use them most for my kayak battery. Wow, I'm not keeping up here. My R11 was cheap enough, little diesel heater. It's reasonable in the winter. $7.50 a square foot. Okay. Just need a big wood stove and lots of wood to heat the garage and never let the wood stove get cold. I understand. 2.5K? Yeah, I guess I hit that a couple of days ago. That 3,000, hopefully it'll hurry up. Had a big garage spray foam and it cost about 3,000. Yeah, that stuff, it's all over the place. I might look into it. No, I'm not going to look into it. I'm too far into what I'm doing now. For keeping warm in the winter, there's a guy on Instagram making wood stoves out of excavator buckets. I've seen the pictures on Instagram. They're pretty cool. Built a swamp cooler in the motor pool in Arizona. Worked well in the Arizona summer heat. But man, they use a lot of water, don't they? Spray foam is great. It's kind of a mess if you ever want to add outlets. Yeah, I imagine so. My hometown used those big evaporative coolers outside for the town celebration in July. Really help out with a large crowd. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder how bad it is in a shop where you're worried about things rusting. If you've had experience with that, let me know because I'm not sure my tools would like it. I've got some tools right now. I can't figure out why they're rusty. Um, yeah. Same here. Bust all to hell. Working at the local bowling alley to help out now. The guy in charge, the owner's son, passed away. Oh man, that's sorry about that. Doing my stuff here and helping them fix the lanes. That's awesome, Papa. Uh, get heated gear that plugs into the bike. Uh, yeah, I've never had heated gear. I've got heated hand grips, and I've used foot warmers, but it was just it was past the point where I shouldn't have been riding anymore. It's just I didn't have no choice. Um, it was just I wanted the wife to have the vehicle for I forget what reason it was. So I took whatever was left, which was a nice Harley. It just it was a motorcycle. Uh, see, used the heated gear riding year round in Minnesota, Wisconsin. I mean, you'd need it there to ride year round. Um, I, I did some. I've got some pictures of me. Uh, I I doubt I could find them here, but we're taking a picture at a in the middle of Bastogne, which is Bastogne, Belgium, Battle of the Bulge, and it's it's late winter, like it's January or February. It's super cold out, and we went on a motorcycle ride called the Frosty Nuts Run. And bottom line, we went from where we were in Mons, Belgium, it's spelled Mons, down to Bastogne, and yeah, froze our butts off. But we took a picture with the tank in the middle of town, and the guy that was taking the picture, he set his camera up to take it and ran to join us in the picture and slipped on some ice, busted his ass, and still got up and was able to get into the picture. So I'm not no stranger to riding in the cold. It's just at some point it doesn't make sense for me, you know. Just use Shark vacuum does good. Okay. Um, I've got a Kirby. Uh, I've got a Kirby I've had for mm, at least since 2007. Think it's my wife bought it while I was deployed. We had a good one. We had a Kirby, and my wife decided she needed a new one for some reason. She was like, "Oh, but their tests showed them picking up so much more dirt." I'm like, that test is designed to do that. But anyway, uh, thanks for the congrats on the 2.5. Our shop at work has 3 portacools. It stays cooler during the day, but when you get there in the morning, the entire shop feels like a Florida swamp. Yeah, and the rust is what I'm worried about. Um, I've got a nice big fan, and it does decent at moving air around. It's just the whole deal with my tools rusting. I already have a problem with it, and that's why I want to heat my shop year round to keep it at a fair temperature. Yeah, I know, Warren. And I'm gonna tell one more story, and this will be the last one. We used to do rotations down at in Louisiana at Fort Polk. And this one year we went down to do a gunnery for tanks, and I was an ammo guy. And we're out there loading and unloading the ammo, stacking it, counting, doing all the junk. And I'll never forget this one day, wake up early, and we get to it, and it's like 11 o'clock. And I'd already sweated through my t-shirt. And not only had I already sweated through my t-shirt, but it was already musty, mildewy, stunk like I'll get it. I had to change my t-shirt because I couldn't stand smelling myself. And I was clean that day. But it was just horrible. The humidity is just stupid thick down in Louisiana. Um, I love it down there, but man, and I've never experienced humidity like that. I've been all across the South, but it's just the worst in Louisiana, I think. I could be wrong. See, I have pictures of us at the gas pumps with the white bikes next to snow. That's cool. I'd like to see that. See, I'd love to see a stain remover work as well as advertised. Yeah, they don't do too good. Um, the best thing I've done, because I always wear good stuff out to the garage because I'm just going out there for a minute and I get to doing stuff and get stains in my stuff. I got a short pair of shorts over there to prove my point. I take and I put dish liquid in them before I ever wash them and rub it in. And, it works part of the time. Sometimes throw some OxyClean in with it. Helps. Less oil works pretty good on grease and oil stains. What is less oil? Looking it up. Less oil. I'll show y'all this. Let's see. There you go. Let's see. Heavy duty multi-purpose cleaner. I think I'm going to put that in my cart and send some to the house. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Humidity is bad, yes. Bugs are the enemy. Yes. And you don't, yeah. I think you're right. Humidity is horrible. It's tools rust there. Yeah. I mean, I love I love a lot of the states, okay? I'm a big fan. I I think swamps are pretty. I know it's crazy. I just like I'm an outdoor guy, so I really like the wilderness and just different things. I love the desert. The desert's just awesome to me. It's pretty in its own way, but we won't talk about that. Uh, Never had luck with the OxyClean. I can't say whether I really have or not. I just use it, and things seem to come out. I just don't know if that's because of that. Home Depot usually has less oil in stock. Is it cheaper than Amazon? And I don't mind I mainly use Home Depot, Amazon, Harbor Freight, Rural King. That's about it. Yeah, that's That's correct. Every environment is pretty when you don't have to live there long term, like upstate New York in the summer versus winter. To your point, Amazon is easy delivery. Yep. So every time I would come home from Texas, when I was stationed in Texas, I know I said no more stories. I told a story. I'm sorry. But every time I would cross that state line into Louisiana from Texas, and everything seemed to go from brown to green. I don't know why it felt that way, but it did. And it just things got greener and greener the closer I got to Alabama. And that was nice because, the Texas is, it's always this greenish brown. And I love it. Texas is my second home, but, I'll never move back there just because, well, Kentucky's where I'm going to be. This is where I'll pass away unless I'm on the road somewhere in the middle of. Ron, do you mind if I show that picture? Texas has a fun glow to it at night, not actual light, but somehow you can see. Yeah, I think light reflects off of a lot of stuff there. That Texas Louisiana border color change is definitely real. Okay, I'm glad someone else is seeing it. And I didn't do a whole lot of the I-10 border crossing. I mean, it's uneventful. It's a very high industrial area, but the I-20 border crossing is pretty real. And then that crossing up into Texarkana is kind of weird because there's not a big change until you get just a few miles into Arkansas, and then there's a big change. But you cross into Texarkana, so it's like going into a city. Uh, I'm glad it's not just me though that's seen that. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all a picture from Ron here. Let's see. There's one. Looks like there's some snow out there somewhere. Hold on. Here's one. Looks like there's some snow out there somewhere. There, yeah, there's some snow up here on the uh, service station and everything. And is that the snowmobiles that are yellow looking right next to the pumps? See. Let me change that. He sent us two. Uh, there they are. Here you go. There's the second picture um, of the Ski-Doos. That's pretty awesome. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Then you get to Shreveport and you regret leaving Texas. It's not that bad. I love New Orleans, and then again, New Orleans has some very rough areas. The first time I ever visited New Orleans was in like 1995 or six. I delivered a load of, what was it? It was probably barrels or barrel rings or barrel lids or something like that. Can't remember exactly. I delivered to about the same place every time, and then picked up all kind of different stuff like sugar and coffee. Well, mainly sugar and coffee, and hot sauce one time. Louisiana hot sauce, I think it was. Never got to go down to the island, Avery Island. Dad did though. Dad delivered vinegar down there, and he made a weekly run down there when he was hauling tanker. But anybody have fun plans for Halloween? Nope. Got homework. Going to be busy doing schoolwork and trying to do YouTube stuff, catch up on it, or at least start producing regularly again if I can. I've got some videos recorded, I just don't have them done up. And then that video, which one? The video I did y'all notice the knife sharpener? Did y'all have problems with the audio cutting out on it and stuff, the video jumping? I think I'm gonna have to redo that video completely. It's gotten some views, but it's one of those videos that should be they call it evergreen. So it should get views from now on, not necessarily a big spike, but constant. So I'm thinking if y'all are seeing that, I need to redo that. Yeah. No real Halloween plans. About 20 years. Wife makes crock potted sloppy joes. That's cool. Keep in on the early Black Friday deals. Yeah, I'm going to try to. I saw some Bruce. There was a lady down the road that made cookies many years ago. Can't do that today. No, that's a sad fact. None here. A little bit of trick or treatings with the dog barking like crazy. Yeah. We have very few trick or treaters here, and usually, like, we've went years without any. So last year we didn't buy any, and of course we had a good handful of trick or treaters. So we looked like bad people. Okay, it's that time. The counter is showing 11 people in here. See. Final season around the corner. No more slush. Yeah. I've got a final due tonight. And a paper. And I'm a big dummy for not getting to it. I've got an A in everything. Unless I don't turn in this paper tonight. And it'll be a B for that one class. 10 millimeter sockets. So Rob won last week. How'd you like your ratchet, Rob? 929. So Papa and Rob. So let's see. Did you buy that stack of 10 millimeters from what's the name? Olsa Tools or something? I do have a box full of miscellaneous sockets. I bet you I can find some 10 millimeters in there. I'll pull them out and I'll give them to all the fathers that come by. What do y'all think about that? Let's see. Rob Norton, the dads will be getting the kids to come back for a few times. Got the hangers and for the wrenches. See, last week. Okay, hold on. Last week I gave away, I didn't write this down. Last week I gave away a oil funnel. Who did I send that to? That wasn't Sizzle, it was Leisure, wasn't it? Was it Leisure or Sizzle that I sent the oil deal to? And I thought I sent Rob. Was I supposed to send you a little ratchet, Rob? And I sent you the wrong thing? Okay, it was Sizzle. Okay. Rob, if I sent you the wrong thing a couple of weeks ago, let me know. Because I think it was supposed to have been a little bitty ratchet. Or maybe, yeah. Sizzle, I think. Sizzle. So, Rivera, you still in here, bud? Let me know. Here's your name. I'll put it in the cup when you say you're in here. Okay. There you go. I'm putting you in there. Ray, you still in here? Or are you fishing, man? I'm going to put your name in there if you are. Lisa, here you go. Here's your name. Let's see. Jeff isn't here. I've got to get caught up with Jeff. I haven't watched his stuff. I have watched it, but it's like going back and forth. And I've watched some stuff from Papa and Pete that way, but it's like going back and forth to school. I've got an hour and a half, of drive time, and so I'm not watching it. But Warren, here's your name. It's going in here. Let's see. Grant. Did I see Grant in here earlier? Or am I mistaken? Maybe I'm mistaken. Don? Let's see. Yeah, you won far enough back that you can go in there again. Let's see. Bruce. Here's your name. I'm actually getting some names in here. Sizzle. You going to the side, bud. Pete, not in here. Miss you, Pete. Let's see. Rob, you won a little. Let's see. Okay. Ron, there you go. Papa, you won a little too soon. You hear it because you love hearing me banter. Frank Arcos, you still in here? Looking for Ray and Frank. Oh, there's Frank. Yeah, I see you. Frank. Baldy, you still in here? I seen you not too long ago. And Walter Frederick. Let's see, Walter Frederick. Yep. You still in here, Walter? Yep. There's your name. There's Baldy's. What, you don't enjoy coffee? I drink coffee all day long. And I just ran out. No bourbon for me tonight. My blood sugar's been running a little high. Wake up in the morning, it's like 1:30 after, 12, 13 hours of not eating. So, yeah. No bourbon tonight. Let's see. Still waiting on Ray to come back in. Let me look and see if maybe he has gone fishing. If this was, I am, but you can leave me out. Have plenty of chargers. Okie doke. Am I missing anybody? If I'm missing you, put your name down there. Frank, I'm just going to have to, if I draw your name, I'm just going to have to set it aside and draw another one. We've been going on for 55 minutes now. And I don't do this to try to keep y'all in here forever, but I try to find a natural break, and this is kind of when it happened. I was actually going to come in here and try to finish it sooner, but I guess I want to run my mouth too much. Shaking it up. Shake it up, boss. Shaking the tree. Shaking the tree, boss. I'll give whoever the first one to comment what movie that's from. I'll send you one too. Let me put it up here before I go grabbing one. You got it, Leeser. Walter Frederick. Walter Frederick. So Leeser and Walter Frederick both get something. That was fast. He was on that. Let's see. Leeser and Walter. I mean, that was fast. Okay, just in case I've forgotten. Yeah, Cool Hand Luke is awesome. I love the movie. I watch it every now and then. I've got it on digits, so I used to have it on hard drive, but here's my email address. Let's see. Please, Leeser, just for my memory and everything, Leeser and Walter, if y'all could send me an email. And also, if anyone would like one of these hats, they're $30. That includes shipping. And it'll come. I forgot to send one to Warren, but it'll come with a poker chip, and it'll probably have some stickers in it, and I'll put a sticker on the outside, and it'll be a reclaimed box from something, maybe Amazon. Warren's box that I used was one I cut up and turned from Tecton, so I recycle. But yeah, if anyone wants a hat, I'd appreciate it, and it'll help me, be able to try to figure out some other stuff. Yeah. But y'all take care. Have a great week. Yeah. And I'll see y'all in the next one. And hopefully I can get a video out tomorrow night. If I can't, it's because class has me over a barrel. So y'all take care. See y'all then.